Over the last 100 years or so, the world and its industries and its people have basically got their rocks off with machines, the most prolific of which is the motor car. But lately there is a school of thought that says all those big engines and smoking tyres aren't too healthy, and that it's time for a change of thought. And so it's been left up to the big players on the world motoring stage to start finding ways to make their products get more out of the limited resources we're now faced with. Audi, VW, Mercedes-Benz and BMW have not only started making cars that beat up less on the planet, they've let the world know what they've done by giving their efficiency programs various names. BMW have called their program Efficient Dynamics. It's not a new thing, but this 320d and the rest of the 3 Series range now comes standard with the full European spec. Now, everything to do with efficient dynamics is basically technical and not visual, so that's good news for the styling. There are no odd Honda-esque wedges at the rear or spaces designed to incorporate battery packs. It's just a common or garden variety sedan shape. The 3 Series has always been the most generic looking of the current BM lineup, but that doesn't mean it's unattractive. With its LED lighting and 18-inch wheels, which aren't the aerodynamic ones that make this car even less thirsty, the 320d cuts an upmarket look, in keeping with its status as one of the most popular cars on South African roads. That means while it satisfies more than a few people, BMW are a little nervous when messing with the look. The impending new generation of 3 Series doesn't promise too much of a departure from what we're used to. And if you're used to any BMW interior, there are no surprises in here. Like the rest of the car, the efficiency measures are focused on technical things like lightweight construction. BMW haven't resorted to massive changes that might offend their loyal customer base. So what you end up with, much like the outside, is a familiar set of bits, stitched together in that familiar BMW way. Good materials, solid build, and an iDrive system that's now better than ever. It is a good interior this, but like all interiors made by BMW, I can't shake the feeling that it's more about functionality and ease of use rather than comfort. It's not uncomfortable, but it feels more like an office than a lounge, if you know what I mean. This is where most of the efficient dynamics magic happens. Now, unbelievably, this is just a regular 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel. It's not restricted in any way or stripped of any power. You still get a full 135 kilowatts and 380 newton meters. The cleverness is built around BMW's mantra of sheer driving pleasure. What they've done is made sure that the engine and electrical system are used efficiently, so things like water and oil pumps are only in operation and consuming power when they need to be. Brake energy regeneration is now almost standard across the range. Only the 335i and 330d go without it, and that system allows energy generated while braking to be fed back into the car's electrical system. Which all sounds very clever, but it probably won't make much difference to anyone who doesn't wear a white lab coat for a living. Where the changes need to make a difference is in the real world, and they do. Fuel consumption is down to 4.7 litres from 5.4 litres per 100 on the combined cycle. CO2 is down to 125 from 140 grams per kilometre. And in the real world, those changes save you money. And not just when you're filling up either. Thanks to the government's new money-grabbing CO2 tax scheme, the more carbon dioxide your car pumps out, the more tax you pay. So by cutting 15 grams per kilometer, BMW have been able to reduce the tax. But perhaps the most amazing thing about the whole Efficient Dynamics program is that while this car is lighter and leaner and kinder and more conscientious, it still feels like a regular 3 Series. The steering feels good, the gear shift is right, and there's lots of low-down torque to give you a satisfying shove off the line. This car might kill fewer trees, but it'll still get from 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds. The car features electronic radiator vents that only open when the engine needs cooling, which it will, given the enjoyment to be had from this little diesel. You might find yourself ignoring the gear shift indicator so you can have a bit more power and extract a bit more out of the handling. There's always a worry that when manufacturers try and make their cars more planet-friendly, somewhere along the line there's going to be a compromise. Well, BMW have crammed a whole garage full of efficiency measures into their 3 Series without a drawback in sight. It's as good as it ever was, but now it just does a little bit less damage. The 2-litre diesel packs decent power and response, and at the same time delivers noticeable improvements in efficiency. It's not going to make you stand out in the traffic, and it's not going to wrap you up in pure luxury, but it is one of the best everyday driving tools on the road.